might be a little bit outside your comfort zone, but very much like Vegas, the doors are shut. What happens here stays here. Are you game? Oh, that was pathetic. Are you game? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The first thing I'm going to ask you to do is I got some slides like this peppered throughout the entire presentation. I go to a slide like this, we're going to do a little call and response. I'm going to say, you rock. And you're going to throw your arms up in the air, give me the biggest 80s rock sign you can, and say, we rock all at once. Now, I do this for one of three reasons. First reason is, well, we've been sitting all weekend and we need to pump up the energy a little bit. Second reason is, we've been sitting all weekend and we need to pump up the energy a little bit. Third reason is, same as the first two, and I'm going to tell you, if you want to get really wild with this and throw your tongue out like this, live it up. Because I know some of you just didn't watch I Love You on the VH1. Some of you actually lived it like me. Alright? So, we're going to try this on the count of three. I'm going to say, you rock, loud and proud. We rock all at once. Ready? 1, 2, 3. You rock. We rock. Damn, that was awesome. Not too long ago, I had an opportunity to go to Costa Rica on a business trip. And I was pretty excited about it. I don't speak Spanish, but it didn't dampen my excitement about going. So I got down to O'Hare Airport, I went to check in, and they had given me a window seat. Now let me tell you, I always get an aisle seat, because anybody can tell you, I've got the bladder, the size, and a small turtle. So for me, it's always up and down, up and down, up and down. And so I went up to the counter, I asked the guy, and I was like, hey, is there any way I can get an aisle seat? And he's like, no, the flight's completely sold out. There's no way you can get one. So I thought, I need a strategy. So I thought, well, I just won't drink anything. No fluid in, no fluid out. I figured it was a pretty good strategy. So, for 2 hours before the flight, I drink absolutely nothing. I get on the plane, and I scrunch into my seat. And as luck would have it, I think that I was sitting next to 2 Green Bay Packers. One man got in, scrunched me a little bit more. Another person got in, scrunched me a little bit more. So, I nestled in the best I could and tried to go to sleep. I had a direct flight to San Jose, Costa Rica. We fly in, we land. As we're landing, I was absolutely parched. 6 hours of not drinking anything. I was just like, water. So we land, I get off the plane, and I start scanning the horizon for anything to drink. And in the distance, I see the haze of the Golden Arches. So I run up there, I'm waiting in line, I start scanning the menu, and the one thing I really recognized was orange soda. So finally it's my turn to get up there, and the young man behind the counter so respectfully, looks at me, and I look at him, and he's like, I said, orange soda, please. He's like, okay. I figured I must need to say it louder. I said, orange soda, please. He's like, okay. I was like, orange soda, please. He's like, okay. And God bless the woman behind me, knocked me on the shoulder and said, look, you can talk as loud as you want. He's never going to understand you if you're not speaking the same language. As loud as we can, but nobody understands. Nobody gets what we're trying to say. We keep yelling louder and louder and louder. What's nice about here, in this room, is that we all speak the same language. Long ago, even though I'm retired, once in a while you get to do some cool retired stuff. So last year I had the opportunity to give the oath of enlistment to my eldest daughter into the U.S. Army. Well, it was pretty cool. So I said, before you go to boot camp, what we should do is we should have like a daddy-daughter thing. We should go someplace. So I opened up my calendar. I said, wherever you want to go, just tell me. She's like, well, you're going to New Orleans. I'd like to go there. Not exactly where you want to take your adult daughter. So I'm going to share 2 things, before I tell you the rest of the story, 2 things that you do not want to hear your adult daughter say as you're walking down Bourbon Street. First thing is, you mean you can walk around here and drink? I am so moving here if this army thing doesn't work out. Second thing you don't want to hear your adult daughter say is, she's a stripper? She's disgusting. I could be a stripper. Be a little more creative. We can tolerate ambiguity. We can see things from a new perspective. We can step outside our comfort zone and take that risk. But it's not easy. What's it take? It takes 2 things on our part each and every day. 2 things we always have to calibrate ourselves on. 1, we have to change our thoughts. 2, we have to change our actions. On a small scale, so we can handle on a big scale when it comes. Changing our thoughts for me is changing my thoughts on the things I need to change my thoughts on. Like, how can I do this better? How can I be more efficient? How can I be more effective? But sometimes I sit back and contemplate some of those things that don't have any real answers. Like if people from Poland are called Poles, why are people from Holland called Holes? I mean, somewhere along the line, we lose 385 laps. And those 15 that we do have aren't even good ones, are they? I mean, they're more like the psychotic ones, right? You didn't get that promotion? You got a flat today? This quote here, it says, we do not remember days, but we remember moments. And that's really all we got. We have all these different discombobulated moments in our life. We got great moments when we're with our friends and we're laughing and we're having a great time. And we got not so good moments when the stressors of life and work and all these things are bearing down on us. But the nice thing is that we also have moments of choice. That we can choose how we're going to act and how we're going to interact with our environment. That we can choose. We can choose to be in that negative spiral and have that negative brain and impact everybody in our world negatively. Or we can choose something different. We can choose to be positive. We can choose to be that atmosphere. We can choose to be that sponge. We can choose all these different things. So my question to you is, what you going to do? Thanks for having me with me today. You guys rock. We rock!